All right, this is OneLastMidnight. Welcome back to another episode of Astroneer. So we're going back. We're taking a look at the portable oxygenator one more time. Now, I was pretty hard on the portable oxygenator the first video, but you know what? I started playing with it some more, and I honestly think that it's a great tool, if not a late game tool, but a great tool to be able to explore. So let's go ahead and watch the video. All right, so we're going to look at the portable oxygenator. Let's say you've kind of started off from the beginning, right? And you've got this portable oxygenator staring you in the face, and you want to get to it. You want to build it. Well, let me show you what it's going to take for you to get there. All right, so the first thing you notice is that the portable oxygenator takes 10,000 bytes. So it's an enormous amount of bytes. You're going to have to be nonstop gathering bytes from the second that you land on the planet until the time that you make the portable oxygenator. But that is not it. That's not the only thing that you're going to need to build. You're going to have to build a lot of supporting buildings to be able to get up to the point of actually building the portable oxygenator. So you see the requirement is 1 nanocarbon alloy, and that's a huge achievement in and of itself. So, you know, this is more of a late game kind of item. There's no way you're going to get this at the very beginning of the game, but let's look at the path in which you need possibly to take to get there. I'm sure there's many different paths, but this is the one that I've mapped out. So you're going to need some sort of platforms, right? You're going to have to put your base buildings on some sort of platform, and you might as well get the large platform B because it gives you that additional storage space on the side. You can put those medium storages on the side and be able to, you know, hold all the stuff that you're going to wind up gathering before we're done. You also are absolutely going to need the smelting furnace. You're going to have to smelt down some of the raw resources into refined materials so that you could build even the next phase of the base building pieces. And you might as well get yourself the soil centrifuge because you're going to be doing a lot of digging, and instead of having to dig up every single resource by hand, you might as well, you know, collect some soil along the way and convert it over to resources that you're going to wind up needing. You know, next is you got to focus on getting off of Silva, because Silva doesn't give you everything that you need to be able to make the portable oxygenator. So your goal should be to get yourself the small shuttle and the solid fuel thruster probably as soon as you possibly can. You know, with that said, leaving Silva, it is a great idea to pick up the drill mod 1, because as you go on to other planets, you're going to find out that the rock is a lot harder, and it's going to be easier to drill through some of that rock, or even be able to drill some of that rock if you have the drill mod 1 as opposed to not having it at all. Matter of fact, you'll probably be stopped by not having a drill mod. Okay, so let's say you've completed all of that. You've got all that done. Those are the initial pieces that you need. What is your next step? Well, it's going to be the chemistry lab. And you're going to need to, if you notice, get an item that is not on Silva, which is tungsten. So you're going to take your brand new minted little shuttle and get your butt off of Silva and probably go to De Solo first. De Solo has the wolframite, which is tungsten when it's refined. You know, it really depends on you and how you want to play it at this moment in time. Chances are you're either going to be greedy or you're going to wind up making a couple trips back to De Solo to pick up either more wolframite, or you just like De Solo and you keep going back and forth. But once you've made the chemistry lab and picked up some extra wolframite, your next objective is to get the atmospheric condenser. Now, the atmospheric condenser takes one item from the chemistry lab, that's plastic, but it also requires iron. So it's time to get back into your little shuttle again and fly off to probably Glacio. I think Glacio is the best bet because you can pick up 2 resources here that are really going to be necessary for the final part of building the portable oxygenator. And that's titanite and hematite. Now, again, you might get a little bit greedy. You might find out that the bytes are really, really good there and probably wind up flying back and forth from Silva to Glacio, not only to get titanite and hematite, but also maybe to fill your pockets with a couple other things. Okay, Now, either by this time you're having so much fun that you've completely forgotten about the portable oxygenator, or you actually stayed on track. So what you're going to focus on next is the large shuttle. The large shuttle is really essential for the last bit of building the portable oxygenator. Now, the large shuttle takes titanium alloy, which also takes graphene to build the titanium alloy, which also takes hydrazine to build the graphene. So you're going to go through this process in the chem lab that's going to wind up taking just an enormous amount of stuff. And the atmospheric condenser is going to have to be run, because at this point in time, you're going to need nitrogen and you're going to need hydrogen, which are available on Silva. But the atmospheric condenser eats so much power, it eats up more power than a bachelor does eating leftover pizza. So you're going to have to get yourself some sort of power solution. Yeah, this is your choice at this moment in time. You know, I would recommend probably going with the larger of these power units, but hey, it's your bytes. Do whatever you want to do with it. And you might as well pick up the large storage at this moment in time, because you're going to need it. The large shuttle is going to have some additional slots for you to be able to carry stuff back and forth. Okay, let's say you've done all of this. Up to this point, you've done all of that. You've done the first block, getting those items done. You've done the chemistry lab, the atmospheric condenser. You've got the shuttle built, and you got all of the other stuff built. Now you're ready to make the nanocarbon alloy. But hey, look, the nanocarbon alloy takes helium. You don't have any helium. So guess what? You get to load up your fancy new large shuttle. Probably, I would set up with the atmospheric condenser, the large storage, and definitely some power, maybe some medium storage as well, so you can hold some stuff, and take off to everybody's favorite place, which is Atrox. Oh yes, you won yourself a vacation on Atrox. Have fun with that. Now I know you're greedy, so you're gonna go back and forth from Atrox and Silva probably a couple times just because you love it so much. But if you noticed, the nanocarbon alloy also takes steel. So guess what? You get to go back to Glacio also. Not only to pick up argon, which is the gas that's needed to make steel, but also probably to get some more hematite. Hey, and while you're there, might as well pick up some more titanite too. So again, you're going to be traveling back and forth, probably from Glacio to Silva, just to get yourself enough resources built up. Now, if you've done all that, and you've collected bytes along the way, remember that's the first thing I said, you're gonna need roughly about 31,000 bytes to unlock all of these items as you're going along, which is great. But then you've gained yourself the portable oxygenator, which allows you to break off those chains of needing tethers all over the place, or having to have some other sort of oxygen solution. And so how do we use it? Well, my suggestion is to put it onto an auxiliary slot. That way it can easily be turned on and off whenever you need to have oxygen. In this case, I have it in the V slot, and so when I hit my V button or whatever you have it mapped to, it'll turn around and generate oxygen for me. Now, when you do generate oxygen though, you'll notice that, oh my God, it eats up power like a mad dog. So we're gonna have to have some sort of power solution, because this is not very viable. This will only get me one refill, and then I'll have to find some sort of power solution. So there's a couple different ways we can go about doing this. You can have some sort of combination of power, whether it's a small wind turbine or a small solar, and that way you'll be able to get energy back, renewable energy back, whenever the wind blows or whenever the sun shines. But when you're in a cave, you're really not going to get yourself solar power, and wind only blows infrequently. So maybe it's not the best solution to have these two items as your power. It does work. It works out okay. It doesn't work out 100%. I was on the verge of always running out of power because I was not getting enough wind down there. So another maybe possibly better suggestion would be to have yourself a small generator on the other auxiliary slot. And that way you can just toggle on the small generator and then turn around and be able to use the portable oxygenator. Now, like I said, portable oxygenator takes a lot of power, and it's always good to have a full power when you're running the portable oxygenator. You know, the bonus is that you don't really have to worry about organic, because organic typically is pretty much everywhere. You can always find enough organic to be able to run your small generator. I could go research hunting for items, but as you notice, my oxygen goes down quite quickly. You notice that I haven't been hooked up to a tether and I'm constantly having to maintain the oxygen. You just don't have enough oxygen in your main tank to be able to support and explore. It's doable, it's just a little bit difficult. So I like to take along a couple extra oxygen tanks, and you can get those pretty early on. And so here's my remaining loadout. I really only have 3 spots available for any resources or any items that I want to keep to come by. So why would I do this? This is really just an exploratory loadout. You're really not going to be doing any gathering. I really, when I have an additional piece of organic in here, I really only have 2 additional spots to pick up anything. But this loadout does allow you to explore all over the place without any fear of having to run out of oxygen. You can go adventure off to the tallest peak, explore some deep canyon path, or watch a cool sunrise from the heart of a forest and scout out those needed resources. And being able to explore underground. But most of all, be far away from your home base and not have to worry about tethers. So you've seen a couple uses for this system, but I guess the question would be, is it worth it? And that's something you really need to ask yourself. If you're looking for just the pure freedom of being able to wander around the surface of the planet or even in the cave system without having to be concerned too much about oxygen. You do need to be concerned about making sure that you have at least that extra piece of organic on you. You know, ultimately, this might be the solution for you. If you want to wander around and you don't want to worry about it. And the downside is there's really no way to just save the game in this state. You would have to come across, you know, some sort of vehicle seat or, you know, be able to leave out, exit to the main menu, then get back into the game to be able to save the game. So, I mean, that's a downside of it. You know, another thing is the portable oxygenator cannot be used on platforms. So if you did come across, let's say, a broken platform, while you can turn it on and it will consume power, there's no way for you to be able to get oxygen from it. It won't create a tether connection. So you're really just going to have to keep it on your back. It's not like something that you can drop down. You know, this is not a resource gathering build. There's definitely no way that you're going to be gathering all kinds of resources with this. There's just not enough backpack space, you know, to be honest with you. You're on such a limited amount of backpack space after you carry a bunch of stuff. And even if you streamline this down, maybe you're only going to get 3 slots out of it. You know, this would be okay for carrying 3 beacons, maybe to go off and find some cool resources so that you can put a beacon down so you can get to them later. You know, could you do without this scenario? Could you do without the portable oxygenator? Sure. I mean, you could always create filters from resin. But, you know, the problem is you're not always going to find resin when you absolutely need it. You might be in a scenario where the last resin patch was very far away and you possibly could be running down on oxygen and not have any way to, you know, refresh your resin. That's definitely a true statement when you leave Silva and resin is more spread out. Resin on Silva is not an issue, but it might be an issue on other planets. So, you know, you could go with the oxygen filters to save you or to even run around with. We have done a challenge where we've only solely run off filters, so it is possible to do that. I don't know that I would want to run a planet or even play the whole game like that. I'd be pretty stressed out. So, I mean, you don't absolutely need it. It is a fun way to explore the surface of the planets, though. So if that's something that you guys are into, maybe think about, you know, building this type of scenario. All right, so that was my video on the portable oxygenator. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. If you're not subscribers, please subscribe. And if you want to follow me on any of my social media, you can find the links in the description below. Hope to see you guys again soon. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.